Recently, many people want to see Avatar. Today, the full version is provided for everyone. In the next 2054, the Earth's resources will be severely exhausted, and human survival is at stake. Fortunately, scientists discovered a planet called Pandora's 440 million years of light. The rich mineral resources there are enough to solve the crisis of the Earth. But Pandora's planet has always lived a beautiful man, Nomi, who are 3 meters tall and 4 times that of human beings. More importantly, they hated humans. In order to approach and understand them, human beings launched the Avatar program. They fused human genes with that US dollar gene, creating a creature called Avatar. But at the critical moment of the plan, the accident happened. The scientists who were originally involved in the Avatar plan died unexpectedly. An Avatar, which was made with his genes, can be connected only with the same genes. Therefore, his twin brother Jack became the only candidate for planning. Jack was previously a member of the Marine Corps. He was unfortunately injured during the battle, causing his legs to disability. At first everyone was not optimistic about him, because it took at least 3 years of training to control Avatar, not to mention Jack was still disabled. But when his consciousness entered Avatar's body for the first time, Jack seemed to have a new life. Regardless of the doctor's obstruction, he rushed out, controlled his body, and enjoyed the feeling of running. Jack ran faster and faster, and soon completely grasped this body. His outstanding performance has successfully prepared a colonel. Colonel managed the mercenary army, and he had always looked at the scientists' Avatar program, advocating relying on force to minimize or. Colonel looking for Jack just wanted him to help him inquire about the situation of the beauty. The condition was to let Jack stand up again. Jack promised him and became the military undercover. On this day, Dr. Grease, the person in charge of the project, took Jack to the wild to inspect. The mysterious and unique creature of Pandora made Jack very excited, and he looked like a curious baby. Their sounds shocked the beasts in the forest. Looking at the behemoth, Jack hit his courage and drove him loudly, but he did not expect to really use it. The proud Jack didn't know that he had caused greater trouble. Jack fled in a hurry until he jumped off the waterfall, that he was fortunate to recover his life. But this also allowed Jack and the doctor to go away. Jack cut the pointed wooden stick to prevent himself. He looked at the 4 weeks vigilantly. At this time, he didn't know that he had been locked by the beauty with a bow and arrow, and recognized Jack's human identity. Just as the girl was about to shoot Jack, a thing that looked like jellyfish stopped on his bow and arrow, and seemed to stop the assassination silently. When the girl saw him, she really put down the bow and arrow in her hand, and Jack recovered a life. On the other side, the doctor took the plane all the way to find Jack, and until the night fell, it had to return. He concluded that Jack was likely to not be able to support tonight, because the forest crisis in the evening was all over, and the roar of the beast was mixed with the roaring mountain peak. Fortunately, Jack lit the torch in time. He drove the beasts trying to surround with a torch, but the number of beasts was too much. At this moment, it was the previous Num and saved Jack. After driving away the beasts, he picked up Jack's torch and threw it into the water. The magical scene happened. When the torch extinguishes, the plants in the forest suddenly make a bright light. Jack looked at everything in front of him in surprise. He caught up and wanted to thank the girl, but the girl didn't want to take Jack and warned him to leave here quickly, because everyone was deeply herencing everyone. At this moment, things like jellyfish appear again. They are the seeds of the trees of the soul. Only the purest souls in the world can attract them. Right now, they are all sticking to Jack, and the Nomi girl is very surprised to see this, because it is a miracle for names. So he decided to bring Jack to see his family. There are many shortcomings on the Pandora planet. This girl named Lily comes from the Kaya. Her father is the patriarch, and the mother is a priest in the tribe. When they heard that these humans were magical, they decided to leave Jack in the tribe and let him learn the knowledge and culture of the Kaya tribe. They also want to see what is the difference between this human being selected by the Tree of the Soul. Jack stayed in the Kaya tribe to learn their language lifestyle. And every night, when Avatar's body is sleeping, Jack wakes up in his body. At the same time, report the information about names to Shangxiang. After killing the beasts, pray to them, and even live with them the soul of the soul. But gradually Jack stayed in Avatar's body for longer and longer. The balance in his heart also tilted unconsciously, and even wanted to coexist with humans and names. The doctor saw Jack's thoughts and finally revealed the truth that he had been covered. It turned out that the former names had a period of time with humans to get along with each other. The doctor even founded a school in the forest to teach Num and to learn human language. Unfortunately, the good times did not last long. In order to mine the ore, the soldiers broke into the school, slaughtered the children there, and even killed her sister in front of Lily. This is why Nomi hates humans. Jack realized that the contradiction between humans and names is irrelevant, but if the two sides cannot coexist, what should they go? On this day, Lily proposed to bring Jack to complete a feat, that is, the dragon tame. This is the moment every beauty must go through. He took Jack to a towering cliff. This is the habitat of the dragon. You have one channel. I want to know if you do this." For the first training, Jack almost left the cliff, but he did not give up, but bravely jumped into the dragon's emptiness again. When he connected the interface of nerve fibers with the dragon's irritable emotions were instantly cherished. The next time was the first flight. Several times, Jack was almost thrown down, but fortunately, there were no risks. Soon he flew up with the dragon and Lily Wing. How beautiful it is to stay at this moment forever. At this moment, a huge shadow suddenly appeared in the sky. It turned out to be a red dragon that was several times larger than them. The dragon followed closely and wanted to eat them. Fortunately, the two quickly drilled into the dense jungle, and then they had a chance to escape, and secretly told Jack that the dragon was almost no one to tame it. Only the legendary Phantom Knight could control it. Phantom Knights will also become the absolute leader of their Narman, and Jack does not know that he will become a new Phantom Knight. The deadline given by Colonel soon arrived. He said that Jack had completed his task to attack the city, but Jack asked the Colonel to wait, because the beauty will hold a ceremony for him tomorrow. Once the ceremony is over, Jack will become a real Naime, and then he can convince them to give up their place of residence. Colonel agreed. On the day of the ceremony, Lily drew a unique totem for Jack. He stood in the middle and accepted the prayer and blessings of all names. As a result, the second day, the human bulldozer opened into the jungle without warning, and the huge machine destroyed everything in the jungle unscrupulously. Although Jack smashed the camera of the bulldozer in time, it was still impossible to stop the pace of human aggression. Colonel watched the picture passed by the camera and realized that Jack might have been free. So he turned off the machine without hesitation and forcibly awakened Jack. Jack strongly persuaded Colonel, hoping that he could give himself another chance, and he would definitely persuade the beauty to evacuate. Colonel promised to give Jack an hour, but when Jack said that he was an undercover of humans, all the beautiful people were angry. Lily looked at Jack incredible. Jack sincerely stated that the angry beauty caught Jack and prepared to counterattack human beings. At the same time, human fighters finally struck again, and the fighter aircraft cast a shell to bomb the giant tree. Narman's counterattack was very futile in front of these mechs, and they could only escape despair. At this moment, the big priest's eyes walked towards Jack with tears. He chose to believe Jack, but in the face of all this, Jack seemed to be powerless. They could only watch the fire that had survived for tens of thousands of years. Burning collapse. Lily's father also sacrificed in the slaughter, and Jack and Dr. as a traitor of human beings, were also detained by Colonel. Fortunately, the friends in the base helped them escape. Unfortunately, when they escaped, the doctor shot unfortunately, and his life was in danger. In order to get the doctoral assistance as soon as possible, Jack decided to win the trust of Nomi. There is only one way to conquer the King of Dragons. He knew that the King of the Dragon was the strong in the forest, and no beast dared to attack him. Therefore, Jack decided to fight for the troops and attack the dragon from the top. When the Kaya people prayed for the stars, the dragon took Jack to descend from the sky. And this also made Jack's trust in the Kaya people. Lily also forgive her. Right now, Jack is the hope of the Kaya tribe. Jack asked the priests to help rescue the doctor. They put their doctors and his avatar in front of the tree of the soul. All Kaya people prayed for him, hoping that his soul would be reborn in Avatar's body. It is a pity that in the doctoral damage, he held Jack's hand at the end and told him that he saw the gods that the Ka had always believed in, the god of love. Does the god really exist? Colonel launched a counterattack and defended their homes with the Cam. All the Taya tribe was united at this moment. They flew into the horse with a dragon and walked to all parties to all the deficiencies around them to protect the Pandora planet together. At the same time, Colonel also began to gather the army to prepare to attack the dollar. They have advanced weapons and powerful strategies, and the fight between humans and names will start. The night before the start of the battle, Jack prayed to the Tree of the Soul, hoping that he could help them save the homeland and the Tree of the Soul, and never gave him any response. The war arrived as scheduled, and hundreds of thousands of human fighters set off from the base. They flew over the forests unscrupulously. At the same time, the terrestrial mech combat team also stepped into the jungle, and quickly met the Name ride on the war horse. The two wars broke out instantly, and the roar of the guns mixed with the sound of fighting. The beauty of flesh and blood is not the opponents of these mechs. The guns quickly swept across, and they soon suffered heavy casualties. Just when the beauty was desperate, the forest suddenly rushed out of the beasts, and tens of thousands of dragons flew in the sky. Under their attack, human mechs could not be defeated by their attack. This is the punishment of the god of nature on humans. Jack's prayer last night was really heard by the gods. With the help of authorization, the beauty quickly launched a counterattack. Jack destroyed a human fighter with the help of the dragon. When the colonel quickly stopped, it was too late. A fighter aircraft was successfully destroyed. This nanny's homeland defended war victory. It happened to be outside the warehouse that stored Jack's body. Fortunately, Lily rushed in time. He rode the beast with Colonel, but he was not an opponent of Colonel, and he was knocked to the ground soon. When Colonel was about to kill Lily, Jack finally appeared. She picked up her weapon with her school and beaten. With her dexterous posture, she quickly occupied the upper hand and successfully broke the mech of Colonel. But Colonel also broke the flies that stored Jack's body. The human body could not breathe, and Pandora's heir must bring a mask to survive. Jack's consciousness switched back and forth between the two bodies, and was quickly caught by the Colonel. When the Colonel was about to kill Jack, Lily broke away in time and killed the upper and lower arrows. But Jack's consciousness has returned to human body because he can't breathe, and his consciousness is about to fall into a coma. Fortunately, Lily rushed to bring him a mask. Jack was saved. At the end of the story, humans were sent back to the Earth, and Jack chose to stay. Because of this time, he really fell in love with this jungle, and he fell in love with Lily, a brave and kind girl. She made a bold decision, that is, to give up the human body. It is the help of the beauty of the beauty. Jack's soul really wakes up from Avatar's body, and he will also lead the Kaya people to continue life in this forest. This film is still a well-deserved classic in the history of the world. The significance behind him cannot help but cause our thinking, and humans should get along with nature. Don't let everything in the movie evolve into our future.